He has flown sorties over Iraq. This is a man that is an accomplished leader in the defense of our country. And he serves the North Shore as our congressman up there. He's our candidate for the United States Senate. He's got some good ideas about Obamacare and what we can do. Let's give it up. Let's give a warm welcome, a warm DuPage Republican welcome to Congressman Mark Kirk.
I want to thank Peter Roskin and Judy Biggert, especially a guy I've worked with for 25 years, Pat Durante, for having me here and endorsing me for the Senate. Let's give it up for Pat, by the way. Yesterday was September 11th, and I was in Naperville. And if I could just ask for a moment of silence for... Wait a minute. I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, okay.
We remember the life of Lieutenant Commander Dan Schanauer of Naperville, Illinois. I worked in the same Navy office as Dan. There was 100% loss of life that day. 28 naval personnel were killed in the Navy Command Center. Had the attack happened a few days before, I would have been in that office. But instead, Dan was on duty that day. I believe that he was wearing the right uniform, working for the right country, in the right cause that day that he lost his life. I will just say something here on September 12th, that we have some unfinished business to go get Osama bin Laden and his folks left to do for the United States of America. Let me briefly say I stand here as a Senate candidate, and what a big thing it will be if we take Barack Obama's seat in the Senate back to the Republican Party. Many of you know I served in Afghanistan with our troops last December and January, and I thought it was pretty ironic that here we were fighting for a secret ballot for Afghan citizens when the United States Congress was taking away a secret ballot in union elections for American citizens. With me as your senator, we'll be voting against a tax increase, against more spending into Congress, against more borrowing by the United States, and of course, no government takeover of health care. Let me just say briefly about cap and trade. I voted for it because it was in the narrow interest of my congressional district, but as your representative representing the entire state of Illinois, I would vote no on that bill coming up. And that's because we are a manufacturing, agriculture, and coal state, and in the past, I think we need to build, and this, sorry, I'm a Navy guy, we need to build 50 new nuclear reactors in the United States. We need to drill offshore for American energy. I know the economic arguments for drilling offshore, but I see it as a Navy guy. Every barrel that we pump from American shores is a barrel that we don't pay for to Chavez in Venezuela and Ahmadinejad in Iran. And last, we need to build the Trans-Canada Pipeline to bring natural gas to the Midwest. Now, that energy bill largely died in the Senate. It only has 45 votes, and I don't think it's coming back. That's not the big danger of this Congress. The big danger of this Congress is H.R. 3200, the Pelosi government health care takeover bill. You all know the numbers. It costs $1 trillion on top of the $2 trillion we're already going to borrow. It lifts the top marginal tax rate of the state of Illinois to 49.97%. That's 4 percentage points higher than the top marginal tax rate of France. Something that we shouldn't have in the teeth of the worst recession in living memory. That bill creates 52 new government programs and offices. Exactly the wrong way we should go for our country. Now, I don't know if you feel as I do. The president lost an opportunity when he talked to the Congress. He could have sided with the American people, but the speech I heard, he sided with Pelosi and her bill in the Congress. Let me conclude by just saying, are we the party of no? We are not. Because I wrote 2/3 of the Republican alternative on health care. When I got home from Afghanistan and active duty, I said we need to put together a new bill, and we need to explain it in 60 seconds. So here's the better idea, the Republican idea on reform. Number one, the Medical Rights Act saying the Congress shall make no law interfering with decisions that you've made with your doctor. Number two, defensive medicine reforms, fully electronic medical records owned by the patient, so you can seamlessly go to specialists. And along with that, you cannot have serious health care reform unless you have lawsuit reform in the United States Congress. And lastly, we need insurance reform. It is your right as an American to buy coverage from any state in the Union. And Congress should give the same tax break to individuals that it gives to employers if you buy for yourself or for your family. So I'll end this the way we end a Navy briefing. I told you what I'm going to say, said it, and now I'm going to say what I said. We're going to have the Medical Rights Act. We're going to have defensive medicine reforms, including lawsuit reform, and we're going to have insurance reform as the better GOP idea. And let me conclude with this. Yesterday, Alexei Janulius endorsed the public option of government takeover for health care. If you want a choice in this coming election, support the Republican team and let's elect a Republican senator from the state of Illinois. Thank you.